Greetings from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is also my first Dark Shadows Festival. I wanted to ask the cast, as diverse as the cast was back in the 60s, if it were today, in the new millennium, and you had a chance to pick one person to be your character, who would it be and why?
Tricky one, isn't it?
Well, we are all going to be recast.
But who would you choose?
Charlize Theron.
Johnny Depp, right? Wouldn't he be good?
Yeah. Yes.
Keira Knightley.
Alan Rickman.
Marie, do you have any ideas?
Britney Spears. Thank you, Lord.
And Johnny?
Woody Allen. Not a fan for the Gomez.
Thank you very much, and I just want to let you know that you are our bedtime story every night. I have one tape that I put in at nighttime, and it's a Dark Shadows episode, so thank you for the memories.
Hello all. Of all the cast members who are no longer with us, who do you think would enjoy these events the most?
Joel Cruthers. I remember the last times that Joan Bennett.
Louis Edmonds.
Louis had a wonderful time at these conventions.
Marto.
You know, Humbert could come. We've all begged him to come. He just doesn't know how wonderful it is, how much fun it is.
He would be very welcome. Thank you.
Next. Hi, first I'd like to thank you all for being so approachable as celebrities. It makes it very easy for us fans to I'd also like to thank you for not making a career out of being in and out of rehab. I think that we know of anyway. My question for you is, are there any areas of artistic expression that any of you have not had a chance to go into that you'd like to?
Tracking. Well, I've never been able to sing and dance on stage, but tonight, in the skit, that will all change.
Quick question, and his name was just mentioned, but I hadn't heard much about it, but recollections of working with Humbert Estreto. He's always one of my favorites. Great technique of being evil, but, you know, there are a lot of fans of his character.
He was such an elegant actor. Yeah, he was just a delight, and it turns out that he and my husband were at UCLA together. Do you know what his real name is? I mean, anybody? His nickname? Bud.
I knew him very well. We were very good friends. We did so many scenes together. And we had good chemistry, I think. You could feel it on the screen, that we were attracted to each other, and at the same time we could play the anger and the hatred really well. And he gave me a lot of good acting points. He had been an acting teacher, so he often would talk to me about what I could be doing in that scene to make it better. So, wonderful guy. You know, I write to him, I email him, and every once in a while he emails me back, and I try to get him to come. Maybe someday he will. I think it would be great if he did. I think he'd love it.
You know what's interesting? Before I ever came to a Dark Shadows festival or convention, I ran into him in Hollywood when I was living out there, and he had been to a Dark Shadows, a very early one, and he said, "You must come. It's wonderful." And so he really was very turned on about it. So it's interesting how he's changed over the years, because he certainly doesn't want to anymore, because I've been in touch with him too, and he said, "I love you all, but it's not something I want to do." But getting to chemistry, I think he had a great chemistry with all women. He turned me on. He was really a wonderful, elegant, as you say, actor, and wonderful to work with. You got so much back from him, and it helped you create your character even deeper and better.
Thank you. Everybody's been thanking.
123, and neither of them have ever watched anything that my wife or I have done. It's ancient history to them, and they're not interested. They want to know what's going on now. My daughter may be here tomorrow, so give her a good welcome. Maybe we can get her to watch a couple of episodes.
I can't tell you how gratifying it is, how many of you have come up to me and said, and whispered to me and said, "You have no idea, you made my childhood bearable. You have no idea how much it meant to me that I could watch you every day." And if I were to tell you about my childhood, let me tell you, you really mean a lot to me. I can't, there are so many of you who have said that, and I think that even though we were doing a show that started out as a sort of a bodice ripper, a gothic sort of anthology show, and it seems so far removed from real life, because it's about vampirism and all that sort of thing, and ghosts. But there was also an interesting reality to the show too. And I think it really hit many of you on a deeper level. We provided a kind of escape. I might suggest that that's an answer. How many of you are thinking along those lines? Yeah. It was this way. I think that in those terribly awkward growing up years, we were a safe place to go, and to let yourself go and let your imaginations just run wild and be in a different world for a little while. Am I right? Yeah,
Thank you. No, I didn't use it because I don't really, I think I may have read Jane Eyre when I was a kid, but I don't really remember it, and I wasn't aware very
The
much.
Orson Welles movie. You have to see it. Yeah. Did anyone else use role models for their actor?
There was somebody, you just jumped to memory there, and something came up, but I can't quite place it now. But there was something that was relevant to, anyway, a schoolmaster like that I had in mind. It was real easy for me, so it must have been something close.
Thank you. The costumes and wardrobe were so great. Were you able to keep any of them, or the lingerie or anything like that?
The painting. Oh! From the movie.
the one thing I regret not keeping were my fangs. I think I'd have such a good time now with them.
I know.
And my music box, if only I had my music.
I had my fangs for a long time, but I sold them at auctions. A long time ago. Where are your fangs?
Yeah. You really want to see them? Sorry, it's on my words. We got it.
Yeah, hi. You were so popular in the late 60s and early 70s. I was just wondering, I don't know about the ladies so much, but I know the guys were like major teen idols. Did that bother you as actors? Because you were good actors, you're good actors. And, sometimes that teen idol status, did that bother you at all?
A 15, 16-year-old girl would run up to me on the street. Did that bother me? What the hell are you talking about? What's the matter with you?
Next question.
This is an acting question, and I don't think each of you can.
When you're an apprentice, and I'm sure lots of you have done this, you're assistant stage manager one week and, filling in acting, the other shows. And so I was an assistant stage manager, and there was this actor named Peter, and he was very grand. And I felt so sorry for him. I really liked the guy, but he was, and I couldn't stop calling him Mr.
Let me say one word about Henry Kaplan. He would never what he did to not poor Lamar, because she was young and young and young. He would never do that to Jonathan. He would never do that to you. He would only do it to the people he could get away with. That's all. That's all. He was a freak creep who never should have been allowed to direct. And I told him that. I also told him that if he ever bothered, what's the big guy's name who's not here? No, not him. He's over. Chris Penn. He beat the hell out of him. I mean, he beat him up and, he was nothing. He was nothing. Period. Zero. Should not have been allowed to direct. Dan Curtis's fault. Must have got him cheap.
Everyone, please stay in the room. We're going to give you some instructions on what happens next. So everyone, please stay here and we'll tell you what's happening next for the rest of the evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of our guests. All of our guests will be back tomorrow.